You know the show on FS1 Breakfast Ball with Craig Carton?
Okay.
So they had Adam Silver on the show the other day as a big-time guest. Props to them. And they were talking about the All-Star Game because the All-Star Game has been the biggest controversial topic in the NBA as of late because, for lack of better terms, it sucks. And they asked him, what's the plan for 2026? And he said, I'm not exactly sure what the format will be yet. I paid a lot of attention to what the NHL did, which was a huge success. Now, for those that don't know, they did the Four Nations.
Yep.
And you play for your country and everything of that nature. They duked it out, and it was a lot of good competitive hockey. Nice. Can't really necessarily do something like that in the NBA because they're from all over the place. But he did confirm that there will be USA versus the world in some form.
Awesome.
Or some fashion in 2026. And someone like Stephen A. Smith, I don't know why the tweet just went away from me. Stephen A. Smith essentially gave a pretty damning take regarding the USA versus the world. Put it on the screen. He said, if this doesn't work, I think you're going to see the NBA do away with All-Star Weekend completely. And in this era, players will forever be stained for the rest of their lives because All-Star Weekend was banished because of a lack of effort. So we'll go to you here, Gio. Your thoughts on the format and your thoughts on Stephen A.'s comments.
Yeah. So I hope that this USA versus world, I have high hopes for it. Let's just say that. I'll just say that. I think players are going to actually come out and try, and they're going to have a sense of, I don't know, camaraderie and just like a companionship with their home country people, and they're going to really come out there and they're really going to actually try to win. That's what I hope. Now, what I think is going to happen is probably the same old, where the players don't want to get injured for the playoffs.
Yeah.
They don't want to, work too hard and risk injury. So I don't know. I hope the players will try harder. Maybe, if anything is going to do it, it's going to be this. And I love the idea, fascinating idea, and hopefully it works for the NBA's sake. So
that's all we can really hope for.
Yeah.
But I feel like the problem's a lot deeper than just the lack of effort on the floor. I think there's numerous issues surrounding All-Star Weekend, and the media moguls and everyone else just wants to put the blame on the players because they're an easy finger to point to. Or an easy thing to point to.
So you would blame media partially?
I'm not saying I'm necessarily blaming media. They're just blaming the players. But I think there's other reasons as to why the All-Star Game is failing and the All-Star Weekend and stuff like that. Because we saw it last year. It was way more than just the lack of effort.
What was it?
They were stopping games for too long. So they were doing stupid presentations with Kevin Hart and TNT and stuff like that. Stupid. There's more problems surrounding the All-Star Weekend, and that's kind of the main gist of it. What are your thoughts on it, Antoine?
It's tough. USA versus World would be nice. I've been saying this for a long time. There's got to be some type of reward for these players to make it more of an effort, because you're not going to get any effort with just changing it up. It depends, I think the reward is sitting with the NBA Cup. Something reward-based, that makes them want to do it. Or, it's possible you could do it right before NBA Finals week, like how the NFL does the Pro Bowl, right before Super Bowl weekend. Interesting, but I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, because you wouldn't get the two finals players, or the two finals teams, their players wouldn't be there.
That's the exact point.
And also, if you get injured in that game, you're definitely missing training camp. And potentially the start of the season if you get a serious injury.
Or you make it into a game style like they have for the Pro Bowl.
But at least you don't miss the playoffs, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But, it's just one game, man. It's I just hate the way I hate the way this game has transpired into what it is.
Yeah.
Where it's a clown show. It's just a joke of a game.
Yeah.
And I just can't seem to get past it because it's so disappointing.
Yeah. I expect at least some effort, because even in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, those guys weren't trying their hardest, but they were at least putting in some effort to where the games were entertaining.
Right.
And when it got down to the final 5 minutes, that's when they would start kicking it in and bringing out their their full effort. But that's all I want to see, some sort of competitiveness, and hopefully this USA versus world thing brings a sense of pride in terms of their country and all that stuff, and hopefully that's what it is. Because I know back in the day, the sense of pride came from who's better, the East or the West.
Yeah. Right.
That was the sense of pride, and that's what kind of pushed people to give effort in the All-Star game. Now, hopefully, this is the next version of that, USA versus World.
Yeah.
We'll see.
People spend money to go see the All-Star Weekend, and they leave with themselves getting robbed of their money because of how expensive All-Star Weekend could be for some people.
That's such fact.
You know, and some fans around the world might go to All-Star Weekend just to see every player they like at one time. And, you know, it's their first time there watching basketball. You know, we have a big global landscape for sports now for basketball, and, you know, globalization is going to be a big thing in the future for certain teams.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to think about the fans at the end of the day, because they're the ones that make All-Star Weekend possible, because spending the money for tickets is one thing.
Right.
And also the media as well. So, you know, if you got to go away with it, go get away with it. You know, make it not a thing anymore. It would suck for sure. But, you know, the players are the root of the problem, unfortunately, for this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, ever since they tried to change it up, that was like the detrimental blow to it. Because now you're trying to fix a broken product already. And no matter what you do, it's not going to fix anything. It comes down to how it's presented. I'm really glad it's not going to be on TNT. I'm hoping NBC or Amazon, whoever gets it, knows what they're doing. NBC seems to be on the right track of everything. They have everything nailed down to a T. And I think it's going to generate good entertainment and good basketball.
Good.
So we'll have to see with that. And as far as, you know, as far as the All-Star game itself, I don't know. You need more Wembys. You need more players like Wemby, someone that's actually going to take this seriously. And
that's what it comes down to.
That's what it comes down to. And you credit guys like that, because that's what's most important. And, you know, you had said, Anthony, something about the fans, their first time.
Oh, like if you're a fan around the world and you want to see all your players at once in one place,
right?
It's All-Star Weekend.
Exactly. This is supposed to be the stage where the best players, the best individuals, all are at once. And, you know, it sucks for people that travel all this way and spend all this money to see a lackluster product. That's just not really. I think the NBA is better than that. I think it's something that's very much below who they are and what they represent. And I still like my idea of 3v3. I think that's really the only thing that's going to save it at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I still have hope for this, but if that doesn't happen, 3v3 would be a fantastic idea.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They might do the 1v1 tournament during the skills stuff, because even that's been kind of dull. Like, the dunk contest stinks.
Yeah.
Three-point contest is what it is. It's there's not much you can do to change it.
Yeah.
And the skills contest, we saw Anthony Edwards shooting lefty last year because he didn't want to hurt himself.
Right.
Like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah,
man?
what are we doing?
But you also got to find that fine line between caring about the fans, but not also treating the players like they're objects. You don't want to overwork them, stuff like that. So, but the players should show more effort, and it should be presented better from a media landscape.
Now, last question.
Yeah.
Who do we think would win, World or USA?
Probably
World.
I would say World.
World.
World, it seems like they have better.
I would say
better
World.
offense.
I mean, as far as like the consistent top 5 players in the world, 4 of them are from outside of the United States.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Tatum's the only one that's from the U.S.
Yeah.
So
probably World.
And if they ever did decide to do something similar to the NHL, like a 4 nations, maybe do a 4 continents. You have the United States, or just like the Americas, Europe, Africa, Asia, Oceania.
That's it.
That could be that could work.
Exactly.
That would be cool.
That would be dope, because like
Who would be for Asia though? Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
You can't do 4 nations, because you could do like
4 continents essentially.
Well, yeah, the 4 nations.
But if you did 4 nations, it would be the United States, it would be Australia, it would be Canada, and then whichever European country, because that's the thing. There's so many good NBA players from European countries. Like you got Spain, Germany, France. It would likely be France because they got the silver medal in the Olympics.
Right.
But then you're also throwing guys like Jokic, Giannis, Luka, their countries all aside.
Exactly.
Right.
Which, they wouldn't mind. But you want to see those guys play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for like team, that's why I said Asia, Oceania would be heavily dominated by Australians.
Sure.
You have
Yes.
Steven Adams in New Zealand. But, guys like Cam Thomas could play as a Japanese-born citizen.
I thought we were bringing all those guys together. Like, so Europe has like Jokic, Luka, and Giannis on the same team.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be good.
With Wemby and them. And
Exactly.
there's so much the NBA can do, and that's the beauty of this kind of thing. The world is your oyster. Do whatever the heck you want, and just do it right. That's all we ask.